This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. We are here today with our guest, Anna Prizzia, Alachua County Commissioner. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such a fun opportunity.
It is, and I am honored to have you. And I know you are a hard-working young lady here in Alachua County. We don't discuss politics, but we are going to discuss what you want to share with us, anything about your job.
Okay.
So absolutely,
Great.
Feel free. And when I say we don't discuss politics, but we do, we work with people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, our world is inherently political, right? And so
Exactly.
the work we do is about community development. It's about making
yes.
this place better for everybody in our community. And in that regard, everything is political. All of the work that we do from a day-to-day basis, all the things you do to lift up the community,
Yes.
to tell the stories of our history,
Yes.
to celebrate what happened in the past, and also tell the story so we don't repeat the past. It's all really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we need people like you to help us make this happen
I'm here.
for the next generation,
Absolutely.
because they are our future.
Yes, ma'am.
They need to know history. History, I tell people, history is who we are, and without history, we're nothing. But as you say, we don't need to repeat it.
Absolutely.
So-
We need to learn our lessons the first time around, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, and my aunt was the Rosewood school teacher, my mom's sister, and my mother said, "Babe, you must keep this history alive." If Mom was younger, Mom would do it. I didn't want to. It was a challenge. I knew it was difficult. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was painful. I did not want to. But she said if I was younger, I would do it. So it meant a lot to her to keep this history alive and pass it on to her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Guess what? None of them are interested.
Really?
You know what they tell me? It's too painful.
Mm.
They can't do it. They said, "We like what you're doing, Auntie. Keep up the good work, but we can't." I understand. It's painful for me too. But I'm out here and I'm working with the community, and I have so many supporters.
Well,
People.
yeah. Well, I hope that you find a young mentor or a young mentee, somebody that will follow in your footsteps, because the work you're doing is so important, and it would be a travesty to see it
Exactly.
lost. And I mean, it's
Exactly.
and the amount of energy and time that
Yes.
you've put into it, and that our
Yes.
community has put into seeing
Exactly.
not just the stories you're telling, but the project for the Rosewood Museum, and
Yes.
all of that is just so important. I would hate to see that's lost. So maybe we can find some other young people who are more
Yes.
interested in history and in community development to get on the bandwagon and learn from you.
I'm looking, but you know what happened March 20th last month? I got a call from a young lady from the Bronx who has trying to research her family, doing the ancestral.
Okay, yeah, like
Okay.
family tree and all that.
And she knew from a child, she felt something, something she could not explain. So she and her daughter was in bed March 20th watching the Rosewood movie, and she said during that course of the movie, listening to it, it says goings. And she said, "Goings?" She sat up. She said, "Backtrack that, daughter." Don't remember the daughter name, and she went back, and it says going. She said, "You know what? this is my family, and this is what has been bugging me all these years.
Wow.
She called me,
Oh, good.
and I was able to walk her through her family history. She is awesome. She is ready. And she is
Fantastic.
willing. You just said, you spoke it into existence. She had already said, I will do it. I will take it to the next
Fantastic.
level.
That's great news.
It is great news, and so much more to that. Her father worked with the New York Yankees
Okay.
all of his life.
Wow.
Awesome. When he finished high school, he went to Vietnam, someplace, a war.
Okay.
Got strung out on drugs.
That's too bad.
Too bad. But the good part about it, he recovered.
Oh, good.
So when Darryl Strawberry was strung out on drugs, and many more, he was their mentor, the
Okay.
facilitator.
Helping them
And
find
not-
the right path.
Exactly. The story goes on and on and on. And guess what? They are going to work with Darryl, his team of workers, and the New York Yankees, and they are going to help us promote Rosewood.
Oh, that's fantastic. Wow, that's amazing. And I think that's so fitting because it's our Florida history, but
Yes.
it's connected to people all over our country.
Yes.
So
Yes.
many people move from here in the South up to New York to find opportunity and
Exactly.
all over the Northeast and out to California. So I'm sure there are Rosewood descendants and people who
Everywhere.
are connected to the history here in our own Alachua County all over our country that should plug in and start helping. So I love to hear
Exactly.
that.
I do
And
too.
I'm proud of our sports people
I
from
know.
Spurrier
Oh
and
my God.
all of the people here from our own Florida Gators all the way to the Yankees, apparently. That's fantastic.
Exactly. And speaking of here, Freddie Weeby is responsible for encouraging me to do my podcast here. I said, Freddie, I don't have any money, okay, to pay. He didn't tell me. Well, I'm not going to say what he told me. In other words, they support me.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic it is. They support me and they reach out and whatever they can do to help us keep this history alive and carry it to the next level, they are here for
Fantastic.
me. And I like to talk about supporting them, reminding people on the weekend, make sure you stop by and do a brunch. Do the brunches from 11 to 3 p.m. on the weekend.
Okay.
Stop by and say howdy. And the best food in town. The best food in town. And they are
It is delicious.
grateful. They are so nice to the foundation. And yes, we plan to bring them together with sports. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I know the Yankees know lots of people and they admire this young man to the hill and back. I have a report, an article that I'm going to post maybe today or tomorrow that was written about him. It explains all of the difficulties he has been through, but the rationale is so positive.
That's fantastic.
And I just want him to bring all of these people aboard so that we can get this history told. And also on May 25th of this year, we are celebrating my aunt, the Rosewood school teacher, 131st birthday.
Wow.
I know it's the Memorial Day weekend, but that's okay. Everybody is not going out of town, and some people will be back by then. And in Archer, we are going to celebrate at the Archer Historical Society, which is the train station.
Okay.
And this is the train station she exited in 1923. And on the wall, there is a plaque that says the Mahalia Gussie Brown Carrier 2000 Great Floridian. That's where we're going to celebrate
That's amazing.
and kick off our Rosewood Museum fundraiser
Okay.
at that particular time.
Fantastic.
And I will be in touch with you. I know you are going to be very helpful, as you have always been. So thank you all for what you do, the county, what you all have done and are going to do to help with funding and just giving us ideas about where we can go and write
Yeah.
grants.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually did some homework. I'm going to send you this document. I found a few grants that might be helpful. One's specifically for African American history. Some are state grant or federal grants, which you might already know about, and I'm worried they could get cut, but they are available now, so that's great news.
Wonderful.
And then I know, we have some of our tourism development money, and this is such a great opportunity to tell the story of our history and bring people from all over the country and really all over the
Exactly.
world here to learn about our history. So I think that's definitely another source that we can tap into. And we have a really great team there that has access to some grant databases and things that we can help do some searches and see what we can pull up for you. So
Wonderful.
happy to help.
We need all of the help that we can get. And talking about bring people from all over the world, and I know he's going to kill me. I'm not going to say it, but I am going to say it. Jordan Marlowe is working outside of the box. He wrote to the Prince and asked them to bring me over to London. They can't. However, I told him, I said, the most important thing about they can't, my name is out there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all the way in London. And they need to vet. They don't know anything about me. Find
Right.
out what I am doing. So they're going to be doing their research right now as we speak. They're probably researching who is this Lizzie Jenkins? Why is she important? Okay, and I like that.
Yeah.
So every time you say no doesn't really mean
One queen to another, right?
amen. Amen. Yes, indeed. So I have a lot on my plate, a lot I'm doing. And you said something a minute ago that I don't remember, but it will come back to me. I was going to follow up on something you just said about the grants.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's challenging in this sort of landscape right now with a lot of funding cuts and shifting budgets and shifting markets to find funding and resources. But I think there are private foundations, there's community groups, and there is still state and federal funding available for museums and historical
Yes.
and cultural programming and a lot around preservation. So I don't
Yes.
know how much accoutrement, how much you've gathered of clothing or pieces of ephemera or, papers or other
I
things
have
that
so much.
tell the story. But there's seems to be a decent amount of money out there for sort of preserving those things
Yes.
and restoring those things. So,
And I'm working right now with a young lady who is restoring my family Bible and my grandfather's, what was it? It was a manual. He taught himself to read and write.
oh, okay.
And it's really just manuscript, just prints. She is, as we speak, restoring this. I know what I was going to say. People don't know that my aunt really is not from Levy County. She is an Alachua County person.
Okay.
Okay, born and bred in Alachua County. And this is where we are going to put the museum where she was born. And her parents and my mom. And I live on that property right now. So we
Okay.
have 29 acres where we're going to put
Yeah,
build
you
a
said there's
museum.
going to be a little farm aspect to it. You know me and
Yes.
loving food. Tell me more about
Yes.
that part.
The farm, well, we don't have a very big farm. We have like 4 donkeys, 3 goats, and chickens that's really laying eggs as we speak. And we need the eggs.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, bartering. Yesterday, I took my niece eggs and she made me pies. So
There you go.
we're bartering with each other
Perfect.
and keeping it moving. They are happy to see John, my husband John. I'm trying to get rid of the animals, but he wants to keep them. He said we may have a petting zoo once we get this museum built. And he said, kids like to pet animals and visit animals, and we want to bring kids out from schools to the farm, to the museum.
Yeah.
It's going to belong to them, and as I tell people, it's your museum, all of the kids, and we want them to work together and make Alachua County better when we work together.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this, and I have had a wonderful time reaching out to people like you and like other people that are very supportive. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about a cookbook that we are working on as we speak.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear about that.
Oh, it's going to be a fundraiser for the museum.
Excellent. Well,
Yes.
I can't wait to hear more about that.
All right. It's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida
and America's Black History, and you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, 2 things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Anna Prizzia, Alachua County Commissioner. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Yes, it is brought to you by Jeffrey Meldon, one of the greatest. He does, each week he does, what is it called? Sportsman of the Week. That's not Athlete of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
And he has been doing this since 1970.
Wow.
He is an honorable man. And yes, please support him. Steve Spurrier, Coach Steve Spurrier. I cannot attempt to define him because he does it all. He's been there, done that. Such a great man. Such an excellent supporter, okay? And he supports Rosewood. He tells people about the foundation. They invite me in, and basically I am allowed to, not allowed to do, but allowed to interview whomever I want to. And Freddie tells me all the time, because every time Freddie calls me, my heart goes, da-da-da-da, what have I done wrong? Or what have I said wrong? And he always encourages me, keep doing what you're doing, the way you are doing it across the board. And that's why people are following you, because you are touching lives. And I'm glad to hear that. So it takes all of us working together, as I have said. And my mom, I remember when Mom gave me this assignment, she said to me, baby, what you need to do, research, authenticate, tell the truth. Do not attack anyone, because the people living today did not create Rosewood. It's history.
That's right.
And she said, keep it honest. And I hear those words from her daily.
I love that.
Keep it honest.
That's
Okay?
great advice.
That's great advice. And I know she's listening right now to me. Aren't you, Mom?
I love that.
But yes, I have
So does the
to.
cookbook have any of her recipes in it?
It will. Blackberry doobie.
Ooh, what is that? You gotta tell me more about that.
Oh, blackberry doobie. Blackberries. Okay, growing up on a farm, we didn't grow the blackberry. They just volunteered.
Oh, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yes, and we would make a meal, full meal out of blackberry doobie or with flour. We would take the flour, Mom would, and make it into like biscuits.
Okay.
Like a dough.
Uh-huh.
And add sugar, sometimes milk, because we had our own cows, okay, our own chickens.
Mm-hmm.
We had to buy the sugar, a bar it.
Right, barter for it, yeah.
And it's awesome. So that's going to be one of the menus that's going to be in the Rosewood cookbook.
Fun. Well, I can't wait to make that.
Okay. And we would like for you to submit a recipe.
I would be happy to.
All right.
I love to cook
You
and
do.
I love to eat, so
Okay.
I'm happy to be a part of cookbook
Okay,
project. That sounds super
wonderful,
fun.
wonderful.
And you know, we do a cook. I do a. I try to be a part of the Peaceful Paths fundraiser every year, where they're raising money and they have a guest chef, and so I usually go and guest chef. So maybe I'll have to make something out of the cookbook next time, so I can highlight Rosewood while I'm there.
Perfect. Perfect. And I just left the guy today. He is excited. The graphics designer who's going to do the book for, he is so excited. And the reason he wanted to do this, he read about it. He saw it someplace, and he said, "Oh, my major is like in history.
Oh,
Okay, and I'm a professional photographer."
well,
And
perfect.
he's going to hook this book up for us.
That's
he is excited
fantastic.
to, and you know what, Anna, that's what keeps me going. I feel people. I feel their energy, and they want to do things.
Yeah, it's great when they see something positive and they see all the energy you're pouring and they want to match it.
Yes, and I want them to.
That's
Come
great.
on down. I say
Yeah,
to
right?
them. Yeah. So it has been a journey, but
And where are you in the museum journey in terms of the actual sort of funds getting put together and the plans? I've seen those beautiful renderings that you have
Yes.
done. They're gorgeous. It's so exciting to
Yes.
see what's going to come.
yes. However, we are going to, on her birthday, it's going to be a museum fundraising kickoff.
Okay.
Okay, or we need, this is an estimate, $10 million.
Woo!
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's out there. Okay,
That's a
and
lot
we are
of
going to get it. Somebody is going to donate. Okay, I went to Tallahassee to talk with Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson is my
Representative.
representative. He knows more about, or as much, not more, he knows as much about Rosewood as I do. He lives in Chiefland, which is 19 miles from
Yeah, it's
Rosewood.
close. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
He was very, very supportive. He told me money was cut, okay, even from his budget.
Yeah, from everybody. Yeah.
From everybody, but his eyes is on on the prize, and Yvonne Henson is no longer my representative. However, she is going to work with Chad,
Perfect.
okay, so that we can.
That's
get
what I'm
this
talking
new-
about, across the
Yes,
aisle collaboration to get
yes.
good projects done. That's what we need to see more of in this world.
Thank you, and I'm in touch with with Matt Brooks. I met him. He is the new clerk of the court in Levy County, and he is all in. So we're going to
Excellent.
raise that money. We are going
Fantastic.
to raise that money.
And you got some state money last year? Were you?
Yes,
Yeah.
Pecan, Hanrahan,
Okay.
the former
Yes.
mayor, called me one day and said, "Liz, do you know about this?" No. She said, "It's a grant, and I'll write it for you." She wrote the grant. It was approved. They gave us $480,000.
That's a good start.
That's an excellent start. So we got all of our mapping and surveying and something else,
Fantastic.
renderings.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes. So we are ready once we start raising this money. And I know we are going to, because I'm working right now on trying to get Darryl Strawberry back here on the 25th. And I'm looking for a sponsor, too, if anybody wants to sponsor him. And to get this kickoff, make this fundraising kickoff a success. And I know it's going to be. Because I know and we know that people are waiting to donate money to the cause. I'm also registered for the Amazing Deal, which
Oh,
is
good.
the 24th
Yeah.
of this
Yes,
month.
ma'am. That's coming
Yes.
up soon.
Yes. Okay, I was just speaking about the renderings for the upcoming museum. And the name of the museum is going to be Mahulda Gussie Brown Carrier Cultural Museum. And it's going to be located in Archer on the property where she grew up, 29 acres. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we'll have enough space to build a hotel. I'm thinking outside of the box. In the event, students or people come up and they want to spend some time at the museum, come to the football game. If they're looking for a hotel room, they can live there. Okay, and we're just thinking outside of the box. And Jordan Marlowe has a very, very, very bright idea about we are our property in Archer is divided. Highway 27 come through, passes through it on one side, and on the very back side, the train track, okay, is part of our property. And on the other
Okay.
side of the train track, Jordan Marlowe suggested we build a depot on the other side, and then a crosswalk to the Rosewood property over the railroad track.
He's got big dreams.
He has big dreams. He thinks outside of the box. He really does. He really does. And he said he can make it happen. Okay. Not he, we can make it happen. Okay. And it's all about the children, because you know what, Anna, when you cross over that railroad track where he is talking about, the property looks just like the Rosewood property. The scenery, just perfect. Just perfect trees. It's just perfect, and that would be excellent for the kids. Just the experience, and if we are talking about encouraging students and kids, we have to make it appetizing to them. They have to want to be there,
Yeah, for sure.
and we need their ideas,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm serious. Kids are smart.
Absolutely.
They are so intelligent. I was telling you about my little nephew this morning. Too intelligent for me. But anyway, I am bringing kids on my show too.
That's
Okay.
fantastic. They need that. I think
They
it's
need it.
so good for them to learn how to speak publicly.
Yes.
And how to get their ideas across.
Yes,
And how to get
yes.
excited about things, especially history, because it's hard. It's hard to,
Mm-hmm.
for young people sometimes, I think, to connect to things that happened so long ago.
Ex-
But
True,
it's so
because
important for them.
exactly, they were not like us. They did not have the opportunity to. The reason I know so much, it was taught at home. Okay, before we went to school, my mom would tell us stories, and every night the story would really be a live story, something that happened to her enslaved grandmother. And it was a story. It was a true story, because we didn't have books anyway. But I learned from that, and I remembered that. And my mom wanted the public to know that had it not been for the sheriff and the Cedar Key train conductors, the people never would have gotten out of Rosewood alive. So my mom wrote a 13-verse song, and I'm just going to share a few words with you.
I would love that. I'm excited. That's beautiful.
Okay, and it goes like this. The Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood. Standing by the tracks with the lantern, his young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plans, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. The sheriff and the store owner worked around the clock, informed the train conductors just when and where to stop, pick up the men, women, and children who were hiding out, and bring them to Archer, Florida, traveling the same old route. Bob Walker and John Wright took on a daring risk, put the survivors on the train, Lord, and sent them all with a kiss. Notified the Gainesville families to be on the lookout for their kin. Told them the train was a-coming, and told them exactly when. Oh, thank you.
That's beautiful.
I need to sing it first before I get tired. But yes, she wanted people to know, had it not been for them, the sheriff, the store merchants, and the somebody else, the train conductors.
Train conductors, yes.
Yes. They would not have survived, because Cedar Key is a peninsula, one way in and one way out.
Yeah.
But the train coming through, was the key to getting them to safety. And the unknown heroes, there were some white men that said, Bob was the sheriff, we can't risk our families' lives helping you, get these Rosewood people to safety, unless you do it at like 4 a.m.-ish in the morning. And that's what they did.
Wow.
4 a.m. And my aunt was standing there on the train track with her. She was wearing a long black skirt, and she was holding a lantern that the store merchant had given her, and said, when the train gets close enough, just move your skirt back and forth. The skirt was to hide the lantern from the KKK.
So they wouldn't see the lights.
Yes, you're so smart.
Well, they were smart doing all that, having to do all that work.
She was scared to death, but
I'm
she
sure.
did it, and she never got over it.
She was brave.
She did. She behaved bravely, but she was a wreck the rest of her life. Moved 5 or 6 times, changed her name 5 or 6 times.
Oh my goodness.
Her life was just hell for the rest of her life.
Well, so much terror.
It was, but I'm just telling her story. I guess I feel better when other people know it also. I don't know. I'm not worried about me. It's not about me. It's about getting the story out there for the world to see
Absolutely.
and hear. Would you like to have closing remarks?
I mean, I guess I would just say I hope that as the community watches this, they figure out ways to get involved, from submitting a recipe
Yes.
to the cookbook to
Yes.
donating to the Rosewood Foundation for the beautiful museum that's coming, to attending the fun fundraiser. It sounds like it's going to be happening on Memorial Day and beyond. Just step up and get involved. Rosewood is a part of our history, and we hope that you'll be a part of it too.
Thank you very much,
You're
and
welcome.
I have enjoyed you as my guest.
Yes, thank you
Like
for
my
having me.
107th.
Wow.
Am I right, Zach?
That's right.
Okay, yes,
Fantastic.
indeed.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and invite them to a peace, building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. That will wrap up today's episode. I am Queen Lizzie. Until next time, this is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Awesome. Thank you.